Everyone, so this is a bit of a different video, but we've got a long break until the next game, and thanks to Jace Little for suggesting this and requesting these videos. There's two coming up over the next 2 days. The first one I'm going to do is the top 10 worst Wolves players of the Fosun era. Now, as we know, it's coming up this year, this summer, for 10 years since Fosun brought the club back in 2016, and I thought this would be an interesting video to do. Obviously we're under a bit of a new regime with them now, and a big window's coming, but let's go through the first video, the top 10 worst. Now, I've decided these on like transfer fees and how bad they were as players and other things like that. I know a lot of people are going to disagree, and at the end of my top 10 I'm going to go through some of the notable misses. Some people I actually thought of but didn't make the top 10 worse. There's probably little players that I forgot, but what I've done is I've said that they've got to have made as well at least 5 appearances for Wolves at senior level to qualify as one of the top 10 worst. So obviously 10 down to 1 being the very worst in my opinion. You know it works. So let's start with number 10. Now coming in at number 10 is Leo Bonatini. Now this might rub some people up the wrong way because I know people love Bonatini, but hear me out. He was at Wolves from 2017 to 2022. He made 56 appearances for Wolves. That's all in all that time, scoring 13 goals. The back end of it, he was out on loan a lot, wasn't he? And then we signed him for £5 million after an initial loan in the Championship. And then we sold him. Well, we didn't even sell him. He left by mutual consent in 2022 after going on various loans. Now, we got the 13 goals in 56, but a lot of those goals, the majority of those goals, came right at the beginning of his loan spell, the first half of that Championship season. And around November, Christmassy time, he just dried up, just couldn't hit a barn door. After going on a bit of a mad rush, he couldn't hit a barn door. And then if you remember, we got a Phobie in on loan to try and get the goals back because he dried up so much and was so poor. So yeah, for me, at number 10, one of the worst Wolves players of the Fosun era is Leo Bonatini. A controversial start, because I know people like him and think of his goal against Villa and things like that, but there we go. Coming in at number 9, a current player who's currently employed by Wolves. I'm going to go, unfortunately, with Sasa Kalajic. Now, again, eyebrow raiser, but this one's more in terms of we paid a big fee for him and then his injuries. I like it. I kind of like him as a player. But he's had injuries and things like that, so it hasn't worked out. So he joined in 2022. You remember he got injured straight away. He's only got 16 appearances for Wolves in all competitions with 3 goals. A couple of them were important goals, away at Bournemouth and away at Everton under O'Neill, if you remember. We paid £15 million for Sasa Kalajic, and it's been a bit of a disaster, down to a bit of bad luck, of course, with injuries too, but he's still here, and you never know, he might come back to life in the Championship should we go down. But yeah, number 9, Sasa Kalajic, again, controversial, but he's in there for one of my top 10 worst players in the Fosun era. Number 8, John Daddy Bodvarsson. Wow, again, people are going to be like, what? But hear me out, hear me out. He joined for 1 season from 2016 to 2017, the very first year Fosun were owners. He was one of the many to come in when they just threw money at it early on, if you remember that first season. Under Walter Zenga, then it was Paul Lambert, wasn't it, that season? He made 48 appearances in all competition for Wolves, and he only scored 3 goals. He came in as someone who wanted to score goals for us, and he only managed 3. He signed for £3 million, so a decent fee. You know, we didn't break the bank. Some of his memorable goals, he scored away at Blues from memory. Was it Rotherham away very early on? And I can't remember the other goal. I bet someone can remember it, but yeah. So some good moments. Like I remember he played quite well away at Liverpool in the FA Cup in that 2-1 win. We sold him for £1 million to Reading. So he lasted 1 season, the first Championship season. Obviously the iconic Icelandic clap. Love that. So I'll always remember him for that. But number 8 is John Daddy Bodvarsson. Coming in at number 7, Goncalo Guedes. Now again, this didn't work out, and he's in here because of the fee. So he joined in 2022 for £27.5 million, and it never felt like he wanted to be here. There was definitely a talented player in there. He'd done well at previous clubs, but it just didn't work out. He ended up making 51 appearances in total for Wolves in all competitions, scoring 7 goals. And then, as we know, recently in 2025, we sold him for £4 million to Real Sociedad, and he couldn't wait to get out of here, could he? After a few loans before that. So yeah, because of the fee, again, I thought he was a talented player. He never wanted to be here. It was a bit of a disaster from start to finish, apart from the odd good spell, particularly under Gary O'Neill, actually. He come off the bench and did well a few times. Yeah, so Guedes at number 7, massive money, sold for peanuts. Coming in at number 6 is a player who had one of the greatest songs of all time, Patrick Cutrone. Signed in 2019 from AC Milan for £23 million, including the add-ons. And yeah, didn't really work out, did I? I don't think Nuno fancied him too much when he come in. He ended up making 28 appearances for Wolves in all competitions, scoring just the 3 goals. But his song, You Love the Pizza, You Love the Pasta. I remember going to Torino away in the Europa League last qualifier, and that's all they sang the whole game, the away end. Patrick Cutrone. It was brilliant. I love him for that, but yeah, it didn't work out. And famously, Jeff Shee said he's one of the worst signings that he personally made while he was there. But God, as you can see, there's a pick of the bunch for them. And he left for £1.5 million in 2022, again after a few loans to Como, which is his boyhood club, which I believe he's still there now. Coming at number 5, another striker, Fabio Silva. I mean, it's very high profile how wrong this went, again because of the fee. He joined in 2020 as a really young lad, broke the transfer fee for Wolves at the time, £35 million from Porto. Jeff Shee loved him. There was all the hype. He was meant to be back up to Raul Jimenez, wasn't he? To bed himself in, but he got through in the deep end. It never worked out. He did score against West Brom twice, though, didn't he, in the lockdown seasons? He ended up making 73 appearances in all competition for Wolves, just scoring the 5 goals. So, yeah, did not work out. And we ended up selling him for £24 million in 2025 to Dortmund. So we got good feedback for him. Again, we got loads of loan fees for him when he went out on loan to like PSV and Anderlecht and places like that. So, yeah, we ended up, we lost 11 million on him, but it could have been much, much worse because he's struggling now, isn't he? So, yeah, the disaster that is Fabio Silva comes in at number 5. Number 4, it is Jackson Chachua. Now, again, he's still here. He's still here. We signed him at the beginning of the 25 season, and he was £10.8 million from over in Italy, and he's made 23 appearances at time of recording, and just terrible. The last summer window is terrible. He's had a few better performances lately, admittedly. He's started to get a little bit better under Rob Edwards, but wow. Have you ever seen such a frustrating player? I feel a bit harsh that he's at number 4, but that's just my opinion. Will he still be here next season in the Championship? Probably, because I don't think anyone will want him. He's yet to score a goal for Wolves, and I might regret this one because he might become good, but he's in there at number 4 as one of the 4th worst Wolves player of the Fosun era, in my opinion. Jackson Chachua. Again, probably a controversial one, that one. Coming in at number 3, a striker, Willian Jose. Anyone remember him? An emergency loan in the 2020-21 season, coming in the January after the Raul injury and Fabio Silva struggling. He come in and yeah, he made 18 appearances in all competitions the second half of that season, scored just the 1 goal. He was so poor, wasn't he? He come in, he was terrible, and everyone was glad to see the back of him. So it was only a loan, so no fee, but he was so poor. So yeah, Willian Jose, he was, I don't want to say he got in trouble before, but he was a donkey. He was a donkey. He was terrible, absolutely terrible. And yeah, so Willian Jose comes in at number 3 for one of the worst top 10 Fosun players of that era. Coming in at number 2, we're at the business end now. Here comes number 2, the second worst ever Fosun player in the last 10 years is Hoover. It's got to be. He's still a Wolves player at the time of recording, obviously on loan at Sheffield United, but he joined Wolves in 2020 from Liverpool for a fee of £13.5 million. And I think it was a bit of a favour because of the Diogo Jota deal at the time. In these last 5, nearly 6 years, he has made 33 appearances for Wolves in all competition, no goals. Obviously, Bruno Lage was the original person to banish him, if you remember. Had various loans. Vitor Pereira seemed to like him, God, terrible judgment. And then obviously Rob Edwards gave him a bit of a chance, and now he's gone to Sheffield United. So Hoover, terrible. He's nowhere near Premier League standard. It's a shame because he looked promising as a young kid, and he made his debut against Wolves for Liverpool in the FA Cup as well, if you remember. But there we go, Hoover is number 2 on my list. Now coming at number 1, in my opinion, the worst Wolves player of the Fosun era is, drum roll, Jesus Vallejo, the defender. Now this is ridiculous because he is a Champions League winner with Real Madrid. I don't know how, but if you remember him, you remember how poor he was. All my memories of Jesus Vallejo, under Nuno obviously, was him just passing the ball out for throw-ins all the time. He used to play right centre-back, didn't he? He only made 2 Premier League appearances in the 2019-2020 season, and he made 7 appearances in total. I think a few were in Europe, with no goals. It was a disaster. He came, he was terrible, he couldn't suit the English game, and then he left. So yeah, Jesus Vallejo, 7 appearances, the worst player of the Fosun era, in my opinion. Now, I know a lot of you are going to disagree with this list. Now, just before I end this video, notable people who missed out, who crossed my mind, who nearly made the top 10, were Joe Mason. Put Diego Costa in there. I just thought he was poor when he joined us. It was a great name, but he struggled, didn't he? I think he was past it. Paul Gladden, Cameron Borthwick-Jackson, Prince Oniangu. I don't know if I'm saying that right, from the first season, if you remember him. God, there's others. You could put Texera in there. There was just people who flopped, wasn't there? But I don't think they made more than 5 appearances. And Ben Marshall from that first season as well. So do you agree with my top 10? Let me know. Interesting video. I'm sure people will pluck random names out the air, but remember, they've got to have made 5 or more appearances. But yeah, please like the video, please comment your thoughts down below, and please subscribe. I really do appreciate it. And my next video coming up is going to be my top 10 best Wolves players of the Fosun era over the video when it comes out. Hope you enjoyed this one, and I'll catch you then.